Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy G Shrimp, everybody, Faith, baby daddy, horse in the street, man. And today we in Chicago with it, y'all. So we gonna be going back to 1994, y'all, covering this story of Yummy, y'all. Yummy is a little BD, y'all. He was one of the youngest shooters that the police probably had on record. We got some younger, but this guy was notorious not only for the shooting that he did, but for the way he died. He had did so many little things, y'all, that they had trusted him with. And then he just started building up that reputation, and he accidentally shot a woman who was not sanctioned to be shot. A young teenage girl, y'all, and that put a lot of heat on him. The police started rolling, and the gang leaders did not think he could stand the interrogation. Plus, they said he knew too much. Would you believe they had this little boy executed? They had him terminated. So they picked two more little gang members to go handle the business, and that they did. They went whacked the little boy, and they end up in jail too, y'all. And they went and did like 30 some years. They've been gone a long time. And they was brainwashed back then, y'all. All you know is ride for your set. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. You go stand on business. Don't snitch. Somebody touch one of your guys. Ride for your gang. That's all you know. And you thinking people go do what they supposed to do. They supposed to take care of your family while you're gone, your baby mama, your kids, whatever the situation may be. It depends on how much money they got, but they supposed to at least try to show some type of love for you while you're in jail. Now you go get a lot of respect in the jail, but respect, let me tell you something. Street credit can't buy you shit, y'all. You hear me? I'm gonna say that again. Street credit can't buy you shit. So when you take away that street credit, you still ain't got nothing, bro. So these guys found out the hard way. They went to jail and they came home. But during the time when they was going through their rehabilitation stage, it was a black lady news reporter went down there and talked to them. And they have only did one interview ever, y'all. One. And this was it right here. And they really watch what they say. They didn't talk too much. They still don't talk about the gang. They didn't never say who sanctioned the move, because I'm pretty sure the feds or the people probably poked at them a lot, like tell us who did this, we'll cut your time. But they knew that would have fucked up a lot. They probably like, nah, it ain't worth it. I'm in here already and I did half the time. Ain't no use of me telling on these guys and I can end up getting myself hurt, 'cause they riding on a big reputation in jail. They don't want to damage that. They just want to come home and run away from the lifestyle. They don't want to embrace it no longer. So, but they'll rather keep their mouth shut and just ride it on out like a G. And hey, I learned my lesson. I'm done with that. There'll be good motivational speakers because people would love to hear them. They have a message, y'all. I might try to track them down and see what's going on with them today, but I heard they was moving out of Chicago. They want to go come back to the city, and that's what they on right now. I'll keep y'all updated on this. All right, I'll be back in a little bit, y'all. So we go check it out and see how they go. Okay.
36, Craig Hardaway is older, wiser, but he's also a little nervous when it comes to this interview.
I always saw media as the enemy.
20 years after a notorious murder that thrust him into the national spotlight, for the first time ever, he and his younger brother Derek are talking about the case that changed their lives forever.
It took me years to really admit and accept my role in it.
It was an unusually chilly September night in 1994 as the body of an 11-year-old was loaded into the back of an ambulance. He had been shot twice in the back of the head in a hit ordered by the leaders of the Black Disciples. What happened that night?
Chaos.
Despite numerous requests over the years, this is the first interview Craig Hardaway has agreed to do. Craig was only 16 years old when his mugshot was plastered on TV, arrested for the murder of 11-year-old Robert Yummy Sandifer. His brother Derek, 14 at the time, was too young for his mugshot to be released. He was convicted of driving the getaway car. All three, Craig, Derek, and Yummy, members of the same gang, chasing money, respect, and trying to make a name for themselves.
For me, it was more like identity. It was more like, okay, I want to belong to something. I want to be a part of something.
It's an addiction. It's a strong addiction, and it pulls you in quick.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets.
The summer of 1994 saw Nate Dogg and Warren G's Regulate topping the charts, O.J. Simpson preparing for the trial of the century, and Chicago well on its way to recording 930 homicides, the second highest on record. Among the dead, 14-year-old Siobhan Dean, shot in the head by a stray bullet during a shooting spree in the city's Roseland neighborhood that injured two other teens. Chicago police quickly identified 11-year-old Robert Sandifer as the gunman. That led to an intense 3-day manhunt. Gang leaders decided that Robert needed to be silenced because he knew too much, so they ordered Craig to kill him. Why did Robert die?
By means of not my control.
And was it your life versus his life?
Absolutely.
You thought it was that simple as either you do this or you die.
And that's how it always goes down. It's not like any rigmarole when you live in that lifestyle.
So you're saying you had no other choice?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Derek refused to leave his brother's side.
A lot of people don't know that he actually took me home, and I can just feel someone right. So when I asked him what's going on, and he told me everything, I refused to let him go by himself.
I should have been more of a big brother to get out, right? But at the time, that ain't the way you think. I'm still a minor. We still kids.
Hours after the murder, both brothers were in custody, and months later, they were convicted felons. Craig, 60 years for murder, Derek, 45 for driving the getaway car. They were the only two ever tried in the case, even though they say others were involved. Why not tell?
Because I was believing in the foolishness they was telling me as far as the gangs and that lifestyle.
What did they tell you?
How they gonna be there, support, take care of us, our families, everything.
And?
Nothing. Literally nothing. No letter, no contact, no money for me, my family, they need, no lawyer, literally nothing.
Abandoned by their fellow gang members and isolated from their families, the brothers have spent the past 20 years rehabilitating themselves. Both have gotten their GEDs and associate degrees. Derek is cultivating his landscaping skills by working in the prison garden, and Craig is involved in anti-violence programs. But for Craig, there is one piece of unfinished business, reaching out to Yummy's family, who has not responded to him or us. What would you say to them?
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll answer any questions that they may have concerning that night, leading up to that night.
Both brothers say they think about Yummy's murder every day. The tears, they say, have long since dried up. Instead, they're focused on getting out one day and making sure that others don't end up on the same path that led them to prison.
I think if they hear it from someone that lived it and been through it, it might reach them a little bit better.
I know most people listen to this and be like, what the hell did this dude know? He been in jail for 20 years. He should have did what he did, yada, 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 yada. That still don't take away from the message. Value your life. You matter. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you matter. Accept that the responsibility of your life ultimately rests with you.
Derek Hardaway is eligible for parole in 2016. Craig Hardaway will be eligible in 2024. Neither brother plans to return to the Roseland neighborhood where they grew up for fear that they could be drawn back into a lifestyle that Derek says will only lead them back to prison or to a grave. Tanya Francisco, WGN News.